Dice Tower Tonight, episode 100.
Game-a-palooza!
Woohoo! Welcome to Dice Tower Tonight, a video cast about board games and card games, and especially the people who play them. On tonight's show, we're celebrating our 100th episode with not one, not two, not even three, but 4 games to play with our live audience. Maybe we'll do one of your favorites, or perhaps you'll find a new favorite. I'm Eric Summerer, and joining me now, proof that you should always pay attention to your Slack notifications, it's Crystal Dax.
Oh my gosh, that is the perfect intro. So, in case anyone does not understand the reference there, yes, this is the 100th episode of Dice Tower Tonight. The show was originally started by Tom and Eric.
Yes.
And Eric, you told me that the reason Tom started the show was because he wanted to try and get you into more video content. Is that right?
That is absolutely true. Tom is constantly trying to get me to do more video stuff and video reviews and that sort of thing. It's just tough for me to work into my schedule. But when he backed me off on the podcast a little bit and started a live show, that was just a little bit easier to get me on and interact with people and just try something different, sort of shake things up in Dice Tower land. And so Dice Tower Tonight was born, and that was way back in 2017, is that right?
2017, yeah. And then 13 episodes into Dice Tower Tonight, Eric, you had a really bad storm at your house, and your power went out.
Yeah,
and
about
Tom
10 minutes before the show, if I'm not mistaken. We were like setting up. I was ready to go. I was about to make the phone call, start the Skype conversation, and the whole thing just shuts down. And texting Tom, I can't do the show. I'm in the dark.
So Tom went live by himself,
Yep.
and he had sent out a call in the Dice Tower Slack channel with the contributors in it and said, hey, does anyone happen to be available to hop on a live show right now?
Yep.
And I literally had just gotten home from work, and I was like, sure, why not? And so that was, episode 13 was my unofficial debut as a co-host. And then Tom and Eric did one more episode by themselves before they realized they just couldn't live without me.
Yeah, more or less.
In episode 15, they brought me on full time. And then at some point later, Tom ditched us.
We don't know. We don't talk about that. Tom just decided. Now, I mean, there were conversations after you guested. Tom's like, I had a lot of fun with Crystal. We should bring her back. And I'm like, yeah. You're like, as a guest? He's like, no, as a third host. Oh, okay, that sounds fun. And we did have a lot of fun, both with Tom and without. And more importantly, I think we have a ton of fun with everybody that hangs out with us on Wednesday nights. Chat
100%.
is one. I mean, there is really a third host to this show, and it's chat. It is fantastic to be able to interact with people, to see regulars showing up week after week, and just to have a nice hangout. And whenever we do the show, it's encouraging, invigorating. I really love doing this show, and the 100 episodes have just flown by from my perspective.
I'm honestly the same way. Like, you and I have talked at certain points about things that happened in the past, and I have to realize, like, oh gosh, that was like 3 years ago, like it doesn't feel like it's been that long. You and I think, like, we realized early on after we met that we had some things in common, our love of Weird Al, for instance. But yes. I think over the course of doing this show, you and I have definitely realized that we are long lost brother and sister. Yeah. And we have a rapport that I really genuinely love and appreciate. And it's just so much fun to hang out with you in the chat every 2 weeks.
Absolutely. And I was thinking about how the last time you and I saw each other in person was right after Dice Tower West in 2020. And we had a business meeting. We actually went out for pizza and we discussed the show for at least 10 minutes. So technically that counts.
We did. I took you to Pizza Rock, I think.
I think so. And that was the last time we saw each other in person, but it doesn't seem like that because we do get to hang out every couple of weeks and have such a great time virtually. And even though you're right there and you're a flat image, I still feel like you're right there and we get to have a nice conversation.
Absolutely. So thank you, Eric, and thank you, chat, for always being here with us. This episode tonight, chat, is for you. We know that you all love the interactive games that we play here on this show, and the other stuff is fun too. But tonight, it is all about the interactive games. You all are going to be actively participating in every single game, and it's going to be a lot of fun. One of the games we're playing later in the episode is a trivia game, and if you all have not filled out the form making your guesses yet, I've been dropping the link for the Google form into the chat. So make sure you do that, because Eric is going to be guessing what you all thought in addition to making his own guesses. So make sure you fill that out so we can have some fun in a little while. But Eric, the first game is yours, so I'm going to let you take it away.
It is. So I wanted to start out, my second game, I guess our third game, is a little more complicated. And so I wanted to go with something simple, similar, that we've done many times before, that I could sort of, coast our way into the beginning of the show. And so I picked Similo, which is a game that we have played many times here on the show. It's a cooperative game where you are trying to get someone to guess an object, a character, a card in particular, by getting clues from a deck of cards. And so I will play as the person trying to get Crystal, and the chat. You're going to be working together on this game, trying to get you to work together to eliminate all of the possibilities that are not what I am thinking of by playing cards. And I'll either be giving you a card that is face up saying this is like the thing that I'm trying to get you to guess, or I can play it sideways and saying this thing is unlike what I am trying to get you to guess. Similo is a game from Horrible Guild, and it comes in lots of different flavors. We're going to be playing with the Fables deck for the clues today, and just because I couldn't leave it well enough alone, we're not going to be playing with cards for what I'm trying to get you to guess, Crystal. Here we go. We're going to fly over to Studio B. We're going to be playing with games.
Oh my goodness, this is amazing, Eric.
Let me lower this just a little bit. Okay, there we go. So, there are 12 games that I pulled off the shelf. I just went along the shelf that was this width and just grabbed stuff. So, let me make this full screen. 1 second. We're going to go full screen, Eric. There we go. Here is our collection of games. From the top, we have Space Base. We have Merchant of Venus. This is the original Avalon Hill printing. We have Root. We have Pandemic. We have Carcassonne. Agricola. Splendor. This is actually the Splendor expansions, but we're talking about Splendor. Viticulture. Through the Ages. Let's Make a Bus Route. Food Chain Magnet. And Trogdor the board game. Now, I will be giving you Fables cards, trying to get you to guess one of these games. I rolled a 12-sided die before we went live, so I have chosen one of these games, and I am going to give you a clue at this point. So, I am going to say that this game that I'm trying to get you to guess is unlike the Giant.
Okay.
So unlike
the game we're trying to guess
the Giant.
Unlike the Giant.
Yes. Let's see if I can get that to
so
refocus on the games. On the games, camera. Games. There we go.
So chat, you all, you tell me what you're thinking here, but my immediate thoughts are, if the game we're trying to guess is unlike the Giant, then things that are like the Giant are things we want to eliminate. And we only, how many do we eliminate at this point?
Just one on the first round.
Just one on the first round. Okay. So I'm thinking like Root, or Trogdor would potentially be good ones to eliminate. Like Trogdor is about a big, creature, so Giant would be like kind of similar to that. Root, the Giant often lives in forest or fairy tale-ish areas, and so that feels kind of okay. Ben Croswell says get rid of Trogdor. And so unless somebody else has some specific reasons why I should pick something else, I think we're just going to get rid of... Yeah, Liz agrees. Let's get rid of Trogdor, Eric.
Trogdor is out, and that is a safe elimination. Of course, you picked the thing that's on the bottom, though. 1 second.
Of course. Yeah, you... This is why people don't like storing their board games horizontally, because this is what happens.
It's not my usual method. I'm going to have so much cleanup when we're done with this game. Okay.
Honestly, Eric, there have been weeks where, depending on the game we play, I have mess left over from Dice Tower Tonight in my office for like a week afterward because I'm just too lazy to clean it
I
up.
have to work here tomorrow. I can't just.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to choose my second one. So the first one was not the giant. Second is going to be not like Robin Hood.
Okay.
Closer look at Robin Hood. Not like Robin Hood.
Not like Robin Hood. So, not a hero or not someone who steals. There is a character in. Okay, so I was already thinking Root anyway, but like there's a character that the vagabond that kind of goes around and steals stuff, right? In Root, I've only played Root once and it's been a little while, but Hawkskull is also saying Root. We have to eliminate 2 though, correct?
Have to eliminate 2 in this round.
Okay. Well, everybody's saying Root, so we're definitely going to take Root out, so you can go ahead and grab that one while we're thinking about our second one. Let's see. Yeah, everybody is down for Root. Okay, so we got to pick a second one. Let's see. So if we're talking Robin Hood, like Forest, Merry Men, Archery, like what are other things like... Maybe Agricola would be a safe one. It's like farming. It's very like pastoral. Or Splendor because he steals from the rich. And that's like about like fancy people with gems. Okay, let's see. So a couple people have said Through the Ages. I'm down for that. Captain Loqua, Lacan, and Timon both said Through the Ages. A couple other people said Agricola. Oh gosh, somebody else said Carcassonne. Okay, I'm making an executive call here, and I'm going to say we're going to eliminate Through the Ages.
Going to eliminate Through the Ages, which is unfortunately what I was trying to get you to go with.
Oh no!
So, Robin Hood, I was hoping you would eliminate anything with a forest in it. So Root was right. I was actually hoping you'd eliminate Root on that one. And Trogdor, which you already eliminated.
Well, let's put the 2 games back up and do it again. Yes, we got time.
Exactly. I never got anything that had leaders or rulers. My hand, I had the Queen of Hearts, I had the Genie, I had Tinkerbell. What am I going to do with that? Cinderella and the Cheshire Cat. If you hadn't eliminated Root, I was going to try and eliminate more cats.
Okay. Okay.
But I couldn't ever get anything that had a builder or a king or I guess the Queen of Hearts might have been my next go to say like the Queen of Hearts so that you would have something with a ruler in it.
Okay.
And start eliminating stuff that didn't have people or this was hard actually.
You know what? I'm just going to blame this on the fact that I've still never played Through the Ages, and therefore that's why I got. But so we'll just do it again, and it's totally fine.
Well, or we could move on to the next game, which is certainly something we can do.
Well, we'll let the chat decide. Chat, we're already 13 minutes into the show. We typically go an hour, although we kind of anticipated tonight might go a little bit long. Do you all want to move on to our quote trivia guessing game, or do we want to give Similo another speed round try? We'll let you all tell us.
I will set basically up again just in case they say yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, Blue Angel said another round, and I'm thinking, I'm gonna have to go with some gut instincts, and as soon as chat confirms something for me, we're just gonna move, and and this might mean another quick game because I'm gonna have to just make some judgment calls. But we are playing on ultimate hard mode basically.
All right, I'm getting a new hand of cards. I'm going with we're resetting up. I've rolled the die. I have the new selection. Same setup, same games. Just because I'm not going to go get new ones. Let's see. Ooh. Okay. We're going to say, like the Tin Woodsman.
Like the Tin
Woodsman.
Okay. So let's eliminate something that is not like the Tin Woodsman. And I would say we're going to go with Space Base. It's out.
Space Base is out, and you're good.
Okay.
All right. What do we got left here? Yep, I like that. I like that. Let's go with that. All right, so we said yes on Tin Woodman.
Yep.
And sorry about the glare. Trying not to do that. And
No worries.
like Snow White.
Okay. Like Snow White. So hangs out with a bunch of dwarves, eats a poisoned apple. Like, okay, so we want something that's not like Snow White. So something not cottagey with dwarves. That seems like. I'm gonna say, okay, so everybody is saying food chain magnate. That might be from the previous round because I know that there is a delay with chat, but they're all saying food chain magnate anyway. So let's say food chain magnate is out. Sorry, I know it's on the bottom.
You're safe though. That's
I know.
Good.
And then Mark S just said pandemic. Belg Formit said kill viticulture. Snow White is like Splendor. Okay, so we won't take Splendor out. Yeah, we're gonna go with pandemic. We're gonna take out pandemic.
Pandemic is safe as well.
Okay, cool. We're still in, chat.
All right, give me a second. This is you know how heavy all these games are. Okay.
I can imagine. So I own some of those games and they are heavy.
I tried, like, I put them on the table first and then I moved them into position. That's a heavy table when it's all like that. All right.
Oh, I'm sure.
Next clue. We said yes on Tin Woodman, yes on Snow White.
Mm-hmm.
No on the Big Bad Wolf.
No on the Big Bad Wolf. So both Tin Woodman and Snow White make me think that root is like a viable possibility for what we're trying to guess. So obviously I don't want to eliminate that. But Big Bad Wolf is big bad guy. So I'm thinking we're eliminating Trogdor again for sure. Because big bad, Trogdor is going to be out definitely.
Trogdor is out and you're safe.
Okay.
2 more.
So now we need to get rid of 2 more. So hopefully chat will have caught up. Good. Andrew Kelly said Trogdor, so they're validating. Okay, so let's see. Belgfermit said kill Carcassonne, Bus Route, and Viticulture. Okay, I saw another Bus Route. Bus Route is out.
Bus Route is out, and I will remove... That's on the bottom again.
It's always the bottom one. And then we're also going to remove Merchant of Venus per Hawkskull.
It pains me to say so, but removing Merchant is the right call. All right. I got to think of clue now. So this next one, you have to eliminate 4, leaving only 2 left. So what am I trying to do? Oh, boy. No, yeah, I think I got to do that. All right, so we said yes, Tin Woodman. Yes, Snow White. No, Big Bad Wolf. Yes, Little Red Riding Hood.
Okay, and I'm putting this in the chat for people in case they are delayed. So 6 games left, need to eliminate 4. Yes, Little Red Riding Hood. Okay, so we got to eliminate 4 of these. I mean, a lot of these games bear a lot of similarities. So
it is tricky.
I'm going to say we can eliminate Through the Ages.
That's good.
And let's see. Hornist says we can eliminate Splendor. Mark agrees. Yep. Get Splendor out of here.
Splendor is out. You're still successful.
Okay. Then. Okay. We're getting rid of Viticulture next.
Viticulture is successfully removed.
Okay. Then
1 more.
Let's see. 1 more. We're definitely keeping root. And I kind of want to get rid of Carcassonne. Yeah, let's ditch Carcassonne.
Carc is out successfully.
Ooh,
all right.
Chat, we're doing it.
So I get to give you one last clue to get you to guess. Now, what do I know about these 2? Oh, man. This is hard.
Yeah, these games, even though they're very mechanically different. They bear a lot of similarities in
Right.
certain ways.
Oh boy, I wish I could play two of them. Because if I could play two of them,
Then it would work.
that would
Okay,
be.
here's Eric, before you show a card,
Yep.
I know me well enough to know that when you show the card, I'm going to overthink it. So what I've decided to do, and I hope Chad is okay with this, is as soon as you show the card, I'm going to go with my gut instinct and I am just going to choose. And we're just going to see what happens. Because otherwise, I will talk about it for 5 minutes.
All right, here we go. I'm going to say, like the wicked stepmother from
All
Cinderella.
right, I'm going to say it's Root then. It's Root.
Root is your guess.
Yeah, yes, Root is my guess.
Yeah, except it was Agricola. So I was going for something that had a family relationship because there's the family growth space in Agricola. You're raising your family for farming.
Yeah.
I
was thinking another bad guy, and there's like conflict in Root. So.
Yep. Riding Hood was carrying a basket of bread. You bake bread in Agricola. I was trying to get you to eliminate. I was trying to get you to get Root out with the lack of animals. On the big bad wolf. Snow White's holding an apple. You can raise fruit, and the woodsman are knocking down trees in Agricola as well. So that's about as strong a clue set as I think I could have gotten.
I think you did amazing, and I feel better that chat also was thinking that it was Root. So it wasn't just me. Your clues were great.
That was a worthy attempt. Well done, chat and Crystal. I'm going to fly us back over. And now, no more flying of the camera tonight. And adjust this
all right.
So you can see the top of my head.
And I just turned off the switch on the Google form. No more responses accepted. And what we are going to do now, Eric, is we are going to test your knowledge of past episodes of Dice Tower Tonight, but not just past episodes of Dice Tower Tonight. It's really more, how well do you know yourself, me, and sometimes Tom as well. Couldn't forget about Tom, so he is included in this game also.
All right.
So what I've done is I have pulled quotes from random episodes of Dice Tower Tonight in the past, and I presented them to the Google form audience and said, who said this? Was it Eric, Crystal, or Tom? They voted, and so what you're going to do is you're going to guess two things. You are going to guess who said the quote, and you're going to guess who you think chat said the quote. So those could be the same thing, or they could be different.
Okay.
What I'm also going to do is I'm going to tell you the percentage of votes that voted for the top answer, whatever chat's answer was. So like, you'll know basically if it was like really close or like a vast majority of people said a thing. So that might help you a little bit in figuring out what chat was thinking, or it might hurt. I don't know.
Sure. And I'm assuming that because of the nature of the game, I probably don't need to hide chat.
You do not. You don't need to hide chat at all, because, I mean, they can say whatever they want about who they think the quotes were, whether they answered in the Google form or not, but you still get to guess whatever you think.
Okay.
So, all right, so I have this up on my screen. I'm not going to show it, obviously, because it would show the answers, but I'm just going to run through the list, and let's see here. I'm actually going to save a couple of the good ones for, like, toward the end. Let's start with this one here. Okay, so who said, I'm sure there are games that use watermelon, but I don't think there are many that are about them. So the responses from chat were very split on this one. The majority vote was 36.4%. And that is the majority. So who do you think chat thinks was talking about games with watermelon in them? And who do you think said that?
All right. Well, I have a vague recollection of saying that. So I think it was me that said it. But I'm going to say chat thought it was you.
So you get 1 point because you are correct that it was you.
Okay.
Chat thought it was Tom, although just by a little bit. So that's, when it's that close, it feels kind of okay. So let me make a note real quick. I don't actually know what score we're shooting for here, but you have 1 point so far, Eric. Cute. All right. Our next one. Who said, this is another one where the vote was kind of close.
Okay.
Who said, it's not terrible unless it's the middle of summer. Then it gets really hot in here.
I mean, That could be depending on what time or what year it was. I
And to give you a clue about what chat was thinking, it was a fairly split vote on this one as well. 38.2% was the majority vote for this one.
So I think that was me, and I think I was talking about the booth, because it does get very hot in there, or at least it very much did in the old house that has skylight that shot into the booth and made it very hot in the middle of summer. So I think it was me. Did chat agree? I think chat thought it was Tom.
Well, it was in fact you, so you are correct. You nailed your second quote from you. But chat must have played off the fact that I live in hot Las Vegas, and they thought it was me. So
but
that's
it's
one
always
more point for
hot
you.
over.
It is definitely always hot.
Yeah.
It's always hot. Even in the wintertime, sometimes it's a little bit hot. All right. So going to our next question. Who said, "I'm hunting down the wreck of something"? And that's wreck, W-R-E-C-K. I'm hunting down the wreck of something. The majority vote here was 43.6%, so a little bit more solid on their answer for this one.
I'm hunting down the wreck of something. That wasn't me. I'm trying to think of what context would have had you or Tom saying it. I want to say that it's you talking about that Tippy pirate game. So I will say it's you, and I'll say chat agreed with me.
Well, you're getting 1 point again, because chat also thought it was me. But the actual answer here is that it was Tom. It was an episode where Tom didn't realize he was on camera right from moment one and was playing Skyrim on his Nintendo Switch while you and I started the show. And so then when Tom realized he was on camera, he was like, "I'm hunting down the wreck of something."
Oh, okay.
And watching that footage back is hilarious because Tom is like laser focused on his Switch, like while you're reading the intro for the show. It was absolutely great.
That's great.
So,
he does all sorts of things when he doesn't think I'm paying attention to him.
I know, right? Okay. Next one. Who said, "I used to be good at this. You two have clearly broken me. I saw you both in person, and you took away my magic powers"?
Oh, boy. Well.
And the vote on this one was 40% in favor of the top answer from chat. I almost said the correct or said their answer.
Oh, what were we talking about? And what game were we playing? I saw you both in person. You've taken away my magic powers.
I love how split this one is, even though it's not like three-way split exactly. Like, chat thought this could be any of the three of us, and that makes me infinitely happy that one of us, like any of us could have said to the other two, "You've broken me."
I think this one's you. And then the question is, does chat agree with me? I think chat agrees with me. I'm going to go with Crystal on this one.
Okay, well, you're getting 1 point once again. It was, in fact, me, so you are correct on that accord.
I feel like that's better to be getting those right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was me. Tom was making us play that game where he makes us list a bunch of random things. Yeah. And in this instance, it was the Brady Bunch kids. And for whatever reason, you and I were struggling to come up with just the names of the Brady Bunch kids. And I exclaimed this. I was like, "I used to be good at this." And you were like, "Yeah, it's that game show thing where you're watching the game show and it all seems so easy. And then in the heat of the moment, you can't do anything." Yep. So... and I apologize, chat. I'm not able to watch as much of what's going on in the chat right now because I'm looking at all the info. So I'm going to come back and read your all's comments in a little bit. But all right, let's see here. Next up, who said, "I want to see what happens to Bob, if nothing else"?
Okay.
The chat was 54.5% on their answer. So they were a little more certain about this one.
That's me and me, I'm going to answer. I'm talking about time stories and the fact that I haven't finished all of the adventures, but that I want to know what happens to Bob in the overarching narrative.
What's interesting about this is you are also getting 1 point again, but you're getting a point for knowing what the chat said, because the chat also thought it was you. This is a quote from me during our episode when we were talking about our most anticipated games of 2019. I said this, and then you agreed with me.
Oh, no.
So we both were of the same mind, but I am the one that specifically said that I wanted to see what happens to Bob. And of course, I in that episode said that I wanted to play Time Stories Madame and Time Stories Hadal and Revolution. And I have not played Hadal or Revolution, nor am I ever going to, because I just can't after how the White Box series ended. Like, it broke my heart.
It broke you. It broke you.
Yeah, a little bit. All right. So that is 1 more point for you. I think you've gotten a point in every single one.
At least partial credit impressive. Is pretty good.
It really is.
I haven't scored double points yet.
Yep. Next up is... Who said that game is just a bunch of stolen parts from other games? Chat was 81.8% certain about who this was. That's...
okay, I'm going to go with Tom and Tom on that one.
That is 2 points for you,
All right.
Eric.
Good.
Of course Tom is the one saying...
I would have felt really bad if I didn't get that one.
No, that definitely... It's a very Tom thing to say. So 2 more points for you, Eric.
Okay.
All right, let's see here. We got that one. Who said... I love that you're trying to meta my wrong answers, and it is the best thing right now. Chat was 60% certain about their answer here.
I love that you're trying to meta my wrong answers. See, it's because this could go either way, because we have had... This is not Tom. This is either you or me. Because we've had games where we have figured out each other's logic in coming up with the incorrect answers for things and have successfully outwitted each other in that regard. But which game was this? Because I think it's happened with both of us in either direction. I'm going to say that this was you, and I was the one successfully outwitting you, and it was sort of freakishly scary when it was happening. And I will say chat agreed with me. So Crystal on this one.
That's 2 more points for you, Eric. It is correct. It was me.
I outwitted your logic on that one.
This was the one where I was doing the Google autocomplete trivia game, where I was blacking out specific words from Google's suggested searches. And then I was giving you options for what was blacked out. And yeah, you were trying to meta the wrong answers that I was throwing in there, and you were very smart about it. All right, we've got... I'm just going to do 1 more. I technically have more that I could do, but we need to move on to the next game. So last, but certainly not least, who said, now I'm hungry for omelets?
Tom's always hungry. I gotta go with Tom on that one. And did chat agree?
So interestingly enough here, you actually, I didn't realize this until just now, but chat has given you a good opportunity here because they are tied at 38.2% for 2 of the responses.
Oh, so this could be they're tied. So it's 2/3 chance. This is my game to lose. I will say Tom, it was also chat's decision.
Okay, so you'll get the point because chat thought it was either you or Tom.
Okay.
But then who did you say you thought said it, Tom?
I said Tom said it.
So this was actually you.
Really?
Yeah, so so what had happened was Tom brought up, so someone in chat asked in a Q&A segment what the biggest omelet you all have ever had was. And Tom then said, I think it was like a 6-egg omelet. And you were a kind of shocked. You were like, 6 eggs? And so then you were like, 3, 4, maybe. Like, that's it. And then there was this long, awkward pause where Tom wasn't saying anything. And so you decided to help bring the conversation back by saying, now I'm hungry for omelets. And Tom immediately goes, why are you hungry for omelets? Like he's completely forgotten that question was just asked. It is delightful. Like, I just couldn't even, because it was so, like, awkward pause. Now I'm hungry for omelets. Why are you hungry for omelets? Just classic Tom.
Oh my goodness.
I couldn't even. So yes, I had a couple others, but I think that's gonna be the end. Eric, you scored 10 points, which I'm considering an epic win.
I think that's a win. That's definitely a win.
And thank you to everybody who filled out that survey in advance or here at the top of the episode to allow that game to happen. I hope you all enjoyed some of those walks down memory lane. I was trying to figure out a way to queue up the clips to show, but there was some technical stuff that we couldn't have done, and we really don't have time anyway. But if anyone is really interested to see where those came from, I have YouTube links with like the actual time stamps.
Oh, fun.
So if somebody really wants those, holler at me after the show and I'll give them to you.
I could do a thread on Board Game Geek, perhaps.
Yeah, for sure. If people want that, I will do it.
All right, time to move on to the next game, which I hinted is the more technically in-depth of my contributions for this episode, but one that we have successfully played a few times in the past and has always been one of my favorites. And you already know this if you have been checking out our social media and various pages on Facebook and stuff. I needed your help for this game. We're going to play Malarkey, and I need to bring up my screen share. Hello. Hey, look, it's Crystal. Except I don't want Crystal on the screen. I want this on the screen, and then I want this on the screen. We're going to play Malarkey. In Malarkey, you are going to be presented with a question of some sort, and then you are going to be presented with 5 options for the answer to that question. And one of them is the correct answer. The other 4 have been submitted by viewers or members of the Board Game Geek community that answered my questions on Board Game Geek. I'm also stalling just a little bit to make sure that we can see. Yeah, it looks like everything is loaded the way I want it to, and that you're now looking at my screen. I am going to post a straw poll here in the chat. Let me grab the right one, make sure we're looking at the correct one. We are. I need to get to there now, and we're going to go there and post. So, chat, you are going to be playing along. In fact, I need a piece of paper so I can keep score. You are going to be answering the question in the straw poll, and chat will have a majority winner. Crystal is going to pick an answer as well, and you're hoping to get the correct answer, but if you don't, it's possible for the person who answered the question, who provided that fake answer, to earn some geek gold. I've got a whole bunch of geek gold I don't know what to do with, so everybody that fools either Crystal or the chat is going to get 100 geek gold from me. Huzzah! So lots of prizes to be won this evening. Let's move on to question number 1. Let's get the thing started. How did the X-ray get its name? I should bring up my little sheet here so that I can read everything, because I'm not able to read quite everything. How did the X-ray get its name? A. In medicine, it was initially called the examination ray, but hospital staff soon shortened this to the more concise X-ray in daily use. B. In math and science, X represents the unknown. The inventor of the X-ray in 1895 did not know why his machine worked, so he called it an X-ray. C. X-rays are a form of radiation with a measurable wavelength of 10 picometers. X is the Latin symbol for 10. D. The first X-ray was created in a lab by accident on photographic paper stored in a desk drawer underneath a radioactive substance. A pair of scissors had been left open on top of it, blocking the rays and resulting in a shadowy X shape on the paper. Or E. Ray, the scientist who discovered it, had recently gone through a breakup.
I mean, I kind of want to pick E just to give that person some geek gold, but that is definitely not the real answer. When you were like starting this, I was like, I feel like this is a fact that is in my brain somewhere. And the only one that struck me as like, I think I've heard this before is D. So I'm thinking it's D. I don't know if chat will agree with me. But yeah, that's I feel like I remember it being an accident of some kind. So that's what I'm going to go with.
All right, I am waiting just a second because the top two are currently tied, and they both each got a vote in the last 5 seconds or so. You said Crystal D, which is the first X-ray was created in an accident, the photographic paper with the X on the top. All right, I'm going to lock that in. C for chat just pulled ahead with an extra vote, and it is still ahead. So I'm going to lock that in. Chat says C. So there's certainly some difference already. Let's check out the answer. The answer is B. You're both wrong.
Oh.
Let me bring up my actual answer here. B was in math and science, X represents the unknown. Charlie came close to that answer. He also said that X was the unknown. C, that X-rays were a form of radiation with the picometers, was provided by David, so David's going to earn some geek gold. And Coralu fooled you, Crystal, with the scissors in the shape of an X. So no points for Crystal or the chat on that one, but there's some geek gold coming out. Let's move on to question number 2.
Yeah.
Why do trains with more than one locomotive often have some of the locomotives backwards? And I have forgotten to put the next poll in the chat, so 1 second. Let's copy that one. There's just too many windows for me to deal with. You can't actually see what I'm doing here.
Yeah, I've done this straw poll thing before, and it makes things a little bit hairy in the midst of the game.
Yes. All right, let's move on. Answer A. With larger front windows, the rear-facing train allows the conductor or engineer a better view of the train being pulled behind. B. The backwards locomotives are diesel locomotives, which work equally well traveling in either direction. They are added on backwards if they happen to be facing backwards when the train is being assembled. It simply saves time. C. While in terms of speed it does not really matter for locomotives to be placed in a forward or backward position, having locomotives placed in opposite directions maximizes the interval length between the driving wheels, which helps holding the train's balance. D. Steep mountain passes require greater braking force than can be supplied by the usual braking mechanisms. Depending on the grade of the slopes on the expected route and the weight and length of the train, one or more engines may be required to provide sufficient oppositional force during downward sections of track. Or E. Locomotive units work in both directions, but as they have one end of them more streamlined, it makes the whole train more efficient to have one of these units facing in different directions at either end of it.
I just have to say that y'all are too clever, because most of these sound completely legitimate to me. Goodness gracious. I mean, yeah, like, can trains back up if they don't have, like, what, E seems like the most likely to me, but I'll say with an honorable mention to D, I'm going to actually make E my final answer.
Crystal's going to lock in E. I'm going to give it another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 on chat. Chat also says E. They agree with you by a considerable margin there. So I'm going to lock that in, and we'll see what the answer is. The answer is B on that one.
Diesel locomotives.
Yes, so it doesn't matter, basically, that it simply saves time if the engine is facing that way. That's how they connect it. But E was submitted by Ruth with the aerodynamics. So Ruth is going to earn
Nice.
some Geek Gold, double Geek Gold, it would seem. All right, I need to get another chat ready. Let's bring up this next answer. Question here, bringing up the straw poll. Copy that. And what program am I in? Okay, here we go. This one. And there's our question 3. What does the Q in Q-tips stand for? Is it A, the inventor of the product was a practitioner of Eastern medicine? The Q stands for Qi, the Chinese term for life force. B, the Q-tip name stems from the word quintessential, which was how the Q-tip was marketed in a paper ad when the product was first launched. C, originally Q-tips were designed to be sold in boxes of 250. Because they are double-sided, each box contained quinti-hundred tips, thus Q-tips. D, quilted, because the first Q-tips actually used the leftover cotton stuffing from quilts. Or E, the Q stands for quality.
Oh no, these they're too good. Chat. Oh my goodness. Like, okay, I'm just gonna start eliminating stuff. I don't think it's A or B. I've never heard quintundred. Like, that seems like it could be a word, but I've never heard it. That doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Definitely could be a word.
I think I could. It definitely could. It probably is, but it's just not a word that people would use commonly, right? Like, why wouldn't you just say 500? But I guess. So D and E are, I think, my most likely. Quilted tips or quality tips. I'm gonna go with D. I don't know. I like the idea that these were made from cotton stuffing, from quilts. That's a lovely sentiment, even if it's not the correct answer.
Crystal has locked in D, and I'm going to... Yeah, it looks like a pretty good margin on chat as well. Chat also says D, so you're both putting your eggs in the basket of the quilting industry. The answer is E.
Dang it!
The
I was
Q.
so close!
The Q stands for quality. D.
Those quality tips.
D came from Edward. Edward brought up that one.
Well, good job,
So
Edward.
Edward is going to earn some points there as well. So moving
Chat
on.
is fooling me all over the place tonight. I love it.
No one has scored any points as far as you are concerned for the live game. Question 4. Why is bureaucratic delay called red tape? You can consider that for 1 second as I load up the poll, because I need to grab that one from there, and then I'm going to post it over here. So, why is bureaucratic delay called red tape? Is it A, the phrase originates in the court practices of 16th century monarchs who would hold sittings so their subjects could appeal for judgment or assistance with their problems. In order to approach the throne, applicants were required to pass through many levels of scrutiny and areas marked by red tape. Cutting through the red tape is similar to cutting in line. B, the term red tape originated with anti-communist propaganda, circulating recorded messages about the inefficiencies of that form of government. C, English lawyers and officials used to roll documents together and tie them with red tape. The red tape would alert people that important papers had arrived. Unfortunately, it took forever to roll and unroll the papers. D, the first typewriters had a combined 2-layered ink strip, the bottom one being regular black and the upper one being red. The red color was generally used to highlight more official business or rules, hence the red tape. Or E, when you think bureaucracy, you think of paper changing hands over and over as it goes from one place to another, trying to find its way to someone who can make the actual decision. Oftentimes, that resulted in a lot of paper cuts, meaning a little bit of bleeding, and using tape to bandage the wound. So over time, this process of shuffling documents and wounding was called red tape, and it became synonymous with inefficiency and excessive handling of documents.
Okay, well, I have to say, it's definitely not E, but well done, whoever wrote that, because that's a whole lot of backstory that I'm really digging. I I like D, but I don't think it's right. I like it a lot though. I used a typewriter when I was young, and I like that idea, but I don't think that's accurate. Man, this ooh, I'm gonna say C, which, interestingly enough, DJ Dan guessed in the chat before you had read all the answers. He was just like, total guess, C. So I'm gonna clearly go with his expertise before seeing any of the answers and
All right.
agree that it is C.
Crystal says C. Chat also says C. So you are once again in agreement.
Okay.
Let's bring up the answer. You're right. You both score
Yay!
points. Hooray for that.
Chat, we got a point.
Hooray. I don't think anyone guessed the correct answer this time. Nope, no one from the submissions managed to get one.
Oh, okay.
On that one. So I mean, it's interesting because sometimes the answers are all over the place. There were a lot of similar answers in that one. A few people had doubled up their fake answers or had similar fake answers. But as far as getting the right one, nobody guessed that one.
Okay.
So here is our next question. Why do some baseball bats have a black stripe around them? The straw poll has been posted. A. When Hank Aaron agreed to use Adirondack bats, the company put the stripe around the bats so they could tell them from the stands and from watching TV whether he was using their bats. B. First appearing in 1920, the black stripe marks the maximum point to which pine tar may be applied to the bat. C. The black stripe is present only on the little league size or weight baseball bats produced by Louisville Slugger. D. As baseball offensive capabilities increased, some owners pushed for changes which would help the defense. Black stripes were added to bats in order to help defensive players more easily see the swing of the bat and anticipate the trajectory of the ball. Or E. The stripes indicate the lowest or highest flex point of the bat, making it the sweet spot for hitting the ball.
Dang, these are good. And I have no knowledge of this, even though I played softball when I was younger. You'd think that this may have and I'm a Royals fan, you'd think I would have known something about this. But, I mean, I love D so much. That feels like a thing that would have happened. Because, yeah, from a distance, it's kind of hard to see at what point on the bat the ball is striking. So if you have that black line as a point of reference, it would be okay, that's going to left field. That seems so legit. With an honorable mention to... No, I'm not even... They're all so good. I can't even... I'm going to go with D, but I like a bunch of them. I know more about applying pine tar to a ball than to the bats. So I don't have any... I know that there's pine tar on the ball, and, I've watched, how that stuff happens.
Okay. Well, with a pretty clear majority, or plurality, as some have pointed out in the chat, B is the answer for chat, so I'm going to lock that in. So This could be the moment that one of you pulls ahead. Let's see what the answer is. The answer is A. No, it was an advertising thing. Hank Aaron agreed to use Adirondack bats, and they wanted to be able to spot it from the stands. B, the pine tar came from John, so John's going to get some geek gold. And D, the about figuring out the trajectory of the bat came from Nick, so Nick will also get some geek
Nick,
gold.
Well done. That answer, I loved it, truly.
All right, let me copy the next question. We have 3 more questions to go.
Okay.
Do that. And there's the straw poll. Next question. Why are the people of Indiana known as Hoosiers? Is it A, Hoosier comes from an early mistake when one person in Indiana asked another, "Who's your favorite basketball team?" B. It's from the state bird, the hoot owl. C. The term stems back from the governor elections of 1932, when Horace Garibaldi Hoosier was campaigning with a then-record campaign fund of $1.2 million. A Cincinnati newspaper editorial subsequently referred to people from Indiana as Hoosiers. Or D. It comes from the Native American-derived hoosa, slang for maize or corn. Or is it E? Legend has it that when people in Indiana used to answer the door, they said, "Who's here?" When said quickly, "Who's here?" sounds like Hoosier.
They're all so different. Like, what? Oh my goodness.
They're all different.
Well, there are multiple people who are saying that they either lived in Indiana or are a Hoosier, and they don't know the answer. So that makes me feel a little bit better about the fact that I have no idea as well.
I did have one guy who answered say, "I've heard about 20 explanations, but here's my favorite."
Okay. So supposedly the Malarkey says this is whatever this is the correct one.
Yeah, we're going with the Malarkey answer.
Yep, so we're going to eliminate stuff here. I don't think it's number A. I don't think it's A. I don't think it's E. I don't think it's B. What's funny is C feels like the most likely to me, but I'm actually going to go with D. I don't know why, but I really like it. So I'm either going to give somebody some geek gold for a really clever answer, or we'll see what happens.
And chat is going to agree with you pretty clearly, pulling ahead. Chat also says D, so I'm going to lock that in. Let's see what the real answer is, or at least the Malarkey answer is. It's E. Who's here?
Huh.
That is at least what they say is the correct answer.
It does say legend has it,
yep.
So it even seems like Malarkey is not. I should have paid attention to that.
It would seem David B is the one who answered, who provided the answer about hoosa, and he's the guy that said, "I'm from Indiana. I've heard 20 different stories. This is the one my grandmother said." So this is at least another popular answer to this question.
Well, that makes me feel good about guessing it then.
There you go. Let me prep the poll for the next one here.
Hawkskull says he's gotten 3 in a row. He's on a roll.
Oh, excellent. All right, next question. Why do things fade? We're getting very existential here.
Yeah.
Is it A, humidity in the air can be absorbed by objects, causing the colors to bleed on a molecular level? B, photons in light transfer energy to electrons in other material. As these electrons move between orbits within the atoms, they have a non-zero chance of escaping. As electrons escape, there is less material, which results in less intensity of color. C, when exposed to the sun, chemicals in the dyes begin to oxidize. This causes most substances to lose their color. D, the alpha and beta rays in sunlight destroy color molecules. Or E, it's an optical illusion. Once your eyes have looked at something, they automatically readjust color saturation input.
Well, that last one is fun, but definitely not scientific. I don't think, at least. Although I'm questioning why I've never actually learned this fact. Hey, maybe you want to come up and say hi? You're not on camera right now.
You won't be able to see, maybe. I can see, maybe.
Yeah, she wanted to jump up on my lap and say hello. I'm like fairly certain, which is a dangerous thing to say in this game, that it is C. Oxidation based on sunlight. And man, I tell you what, you buy things that say they're like resistant to sun damage or fading or whatever. In Vegas, it does not matter. Those things will fade and they will just get destroyed just from being sat outside because the sun here is intense.
All right, so you're going to lock in C?
Yep, I'm locking it in.
Okay, and chat is also going to lock in C. 75% of the votes are for C. Let's see if If everybody is right or not, the answer is C. Oh yeah, you're definitely right on that
Yay!
one. The key word was oxidation. There were a lot of very similar answers, but the ones that are specifically talking about oxidation of the dyes. Ben got that almost exactly right, and so maybe I'll throw some Geek Gold Ben's way as well.
Nice.
All right, one more question. You're tied 1-1 between you and the chat, Crystal. So
2-2.
2-2. Oh, did you got that one right? You're right. You both got a question
Yeah.
there. You are both tied 2-2. So this is for the game, I guess. Let's see if somebody can pull ahead.
What I'm gonna do, Eric, is I'm gonna make a judgment call here and say that I'm not looking obviously at the polls that you're putting in the chat, so I don't know what chat's answer is, but I am going to, if in fact chat and I choose the same answer, I will switch to a different answer, even if that is at my own detriment.
Ooh.
Because that way we have an interesting finale.
All right. So last question: why do Twix cookie bars have holes in them? Is it A? Originally, the Twix cookie was shortbread, which is usually pricked with a fork for ease of baking. Is it B? During the 1950s and 60s, outer space and space travel was very popular. Black holes were in the news when the designer, Joseph Trupp, was working on the biscuits. He decided to add the holes to make his design more fashionable. C. Twix cookie bars have holes to enhance the adherence of the caramel to the cookie. D. The holes allow the caramel to expand internally without cracking the chocolate coating. Or is it E? It was used to be able to discern which cookies were for the left and which were for the right, based on the number of holes.
Oh my gosh, that sounds like conspiracy theory 101 because of this whole like left Twix, right Twix thing that Twix does.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Are you being facetious with me right now? Because like Twix has definitely been running a marketing campaign for years where like they ask which your favorite is, left Twix or right Twix.
Obviously left Twix. What?
Your face. The chat can't see how serious you are right now, and it's making me sad because like your face was perfect. I think before you read off the answers, I was thinking, well, like the caramel might like bubble if you dropped it onto a solid cookie, and maybe the holes kind of help that settle in. So then when you read 3, I was like, oh, or C, that I was like, that kind of makes sense. But D also sounds really good. Like, yeah, if the candy bar got warm, would the caramel expand? Caramels don't expand, do they? Oh, I'm going to go with C. And I will change my answer if chat also goes with C.
Well, you locking in C, you get to keep that answer because chat went with D with about 55% of the votes. So I'll lock that in, and let's see. One of you is right, and the answer is D.
Yay, chat!
Chat
wins!
got it right. Let me bring up my document here. So chat wins. Also,
Corliss says the best Twix is the one in your mouth.
Yes. Chad came very close to that answer, so I'm giving Chad credit for giving the correct one. The C answer, however, enhancing the adherence of the caramel, both Ben and Rex had very similar answers that sort of went into that one, so they'll be getting some Geek Gold as well. But Chat wins the game, and that is definitely... Oh, what are you doing? I've got like a window in the way, and I can't... Here, get out. Let's get my screen back so I can actually get back to... No, go away. I don't want... I want to get my screen back. Let's try this. Let's get back to our 2-shot. There we go. We're back.
Yay, we're back.
Well
and
done,
maybe it's
chat.
still on my lap, so I picked her up so everybody could see her because I know everybody likes seeing the doggos.
So big thanks to everyone who filled out the geek list. That was a lot of fun to compile. Sorry if your particular answer didn't make it on the board. I had to make some judgment calls and editing and try and mix it up a little bit so it wasn't the same people putting up answers every time as well. But thank you very much. Really appreciate it.
All right, we have one game left, chat, and if any of you have been watching this show for any amount of time, I imagine you can probably guess what that game is. We are going back to our favorite, our old standby, and with a little bit of a twist this time, we're going to play some Just One.
Oh, yeah.
So, what's neat is all of the words that are in this game for you, Eric, were submitted by the viewers, either in our Board Game Geek Guild or on Facebook. So all of the words that Chad is going to be giving you clues about, they provided. So it's their fault if this goes poorly.
Okay.
So chat, if you've never played Just One with us before, just as a quick recap, I'm going to show you a word. These words happen to be on, I printed out little fake Just One cards, and the number 3 answer on the card, which is in a red font, is always the answer that we are going to be going for. There are other words on the card. You'll know which one it is. I'm going to show you that word. And Eric's going to look away when we do that.
Yep.
And then you all are going to type in clues that you think will help Eric guess that word. The clues can be a single word only. They must be typed in all capital letters for me to count them. And I will then look at the first 7 responses that pop up in the chat. And if any of them are the same word, they will get eliminated, and I won't get to read them to Eric. But every other clue that you all provide that doesn't match another clue, I will read to Eric, and we will see if he can guess the word. So, I think we're just going to have to get started. So again, chat, the number 3 clue on the card, which is in a red font, is the one that you're going to be wanting to get Eric to guess. So Eric, if you could look away briefly.
I'm putting on a blindfold.
Oh gosh, you got the bunny hat. Okay. So, that number 3 word, chat, that's what you're going for there.
It's warm under here. Okay. I have hidden chat, but I can't hide you. Every time I try and hide the video, it just, another window pops up. You're like, don't you want to look at Crystal? Like, okay.
All right. Gator Dave was suggesting someone use the playback speed to catch up to the live part of the stream for anybody who is behind. Okay, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, don't forget, y'all, that your answer needs to be in all capital letters for it to count. All right, we've definitely got 7 now. Let me see here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 2 of them match, so you're going to get 5 words.
Okay.
All right, so what you're going to get, Eric, you are getting balloons, festivities, birthday, cool, and that is spelled Kool, and festival. So I'm going to run through those again. You've got balloons, festivities, birthday, cool spelled with a K, and festival.
Before the last 2, I was going to say party. But that there wouldn't be, because now when cool, I'm thinking aid, like Kool-Aid and Live Aid. Balloons. No, I'm gonna go with party. Party's my answer.
So party is the word that got eliminated.
Oh!
The actual word, Eric, as you can see on my little fake card here, was celebration.
Ah, okay.
So tonight is a celebration of our 100th episode, which is why...
Cool in the gang. I should have gotten that. Yeah.
And this was submitted by Greg Turner on Facebook.
Yeah, that was a good clue,
thank you, Greg.
chat. I missed it.
All right, Eric, go ahead and avert your eyes. We're going to go for the next one.
I'm not ready.
Okay. Okay. Eric's putting on his bunny hat. All right, chat. Wow. Same again. Number 3, the one in the red font. And all right. And this answer here, I'll just, while chat is doing their things, I will say who. So Jason Year Out on Board Game Geek provided this one.
Cool.
So thank you, Jason. And for the record, I can't use everybody's words that were submitted, but I really want to thank everybody who provided words. I tried to make sure I picked a variety from both places and different people. So, all right, we've got, oh gosh, this is not going to go well at all, is it?
Oh, great.
Okay. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we have 2 matches. So that means 4 of the 7 words are getting eliminated.
At least I get 3.
Yeah, you're going to get 3 words. So your words are Marauders, Shopkeeper, and Avalon.
Merchant. Or
You
merchants.
are correct.
Yeah.
You are correct, Eric.
Woo.
Yes, we lost Venus and Cellar.
Yeah.
So obviously Jason picked this word because Merchant of Venus is your favorite game.
Look how happy that guy is. He's trading space spice right there. He's like, give me a good cost on these things. That's theme right there, I'll tell you.
All right.
All right, let me put on the rifle.
Yeah, back to the... All right, here comes the word, chat. Wow. I don't know what that noise was.
That was more of a cat.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a cat. Yeah. All right, number 3, once again, chat. I'm going to take it down in 3, 2, 1. Bam. This one I feel is going to be difficult, but I liked it, so I picked it. This one was from Edward Guida on Board Game Geek. I apologize for the butchering of your last name, Edward. All right. Ooh, words came in fast. Here we go. We got them. I think this is going to be good. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and they are all different,
okay.
Eric. You're going to get them all.
All right.
So the words you have are audible, narrator, narration, Hogwarts, voice, tape, and oration.
Can you read them all again?
I'll go. Yep. Audible, narrator, narration, Hogwarts, voice, tape, and oration.
I mean, I want... Oh. No, it's got to be audiobook.
It is audiobook!
I kept trying to talk myself out of it, but yeah.
No, that was spectacular. Like, that's not a word that you would normally, expect to see in a game like this, I don't think. So I think that was magical.
Somebody's favorite is obviously the Potter books with Jim Dale. I was in the same room as Jim Dale once. He was way over there, awesome. But I was in the same room.
I don't think narrator and narration are duplicates. Those are different words, Jerry. I'm definitely think I'm okay in leaving them both.
Crystal's the judge here.
I mean, I am. I'm in charge of everything. Do people not know that? Okay, here we go, chat. Next word.
This tickles my nose.
All right, chat. Number 3 there on that card. This one's going to be a tough one as well. Somebody in the chat said, wow. I don't know if that was based on the new word or not, but I'm taking it away in 3, 2, 1.
It's what I do. So I was, I'm sort of inclined that way anyway.
Yeah, but you're good if you want to take off the blindfold.
Right. It's hot under there.
Gator Dave said, good luck.
Good. Excellent.
Oh. All right, let's see what we got here. We definitely have 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And what's interesting is we have 3 words that all match. They're the same words. So you're still going to get 4.
All right. I like that you're accepting 7. That makes it a little easier to get 1 extra clue in there.
Yeah, we've done 6 in the past, but I've been playing just one with more than 7 people recently, and I've found that having even 10 clues doesn't necessarily make the game easier or more difficult.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
All right, so let's see here. We're gonna go 1, 2. Yeah, those. Okay, so your words are fizzy, Verner's, neon, and tickly. Fizzy, Verner's, neon, and tickly.
Oh,
Tickly.
there is so much that one could do with this.
Yeah, this is gonna be tough.
So the fact that neon is in there has me thinking that we're heading down the route of a Mountain Dew or a Surge, but Verner's is very specific ginger ale. All right, I'm either going to go with soda or carbonated. Or fizzy. No, let's do soda.
Well, you can feel relieved that neither one of those was the correct answer. This was incredibly difficult. So this one was provided by David Moyer on Facebook.
Yeah.
It is effervescent.
What?
Effervescent was the word that David provided. So
effervescent?
The word that got eliminated 3 times was bubbly.
Okay.
I don't know if that would have helped.
I think I still might have stuck with
soda or something along those lines. Yeah.
Yeah, that was hard. That was really hard.
All right. Oh. Let's move on to the next one. Yep, here we go. Wow. Ow. This word is far less complex than effervescent.
Oh, good.
I will say.
I can't even spell.
I liked this one though. This was one of my favorite answers that got submitted, and this one came from Amanda Panda on Board Game Geek.
Excellent.
So.
Hi, Amanda.
Okay, let's see here. Yeah, we've definitely got 7. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And they're all different. 7 words, Eric. Let's see if you can do it.
Okay.
Hat. Lobes. Lobes. Bunny. Drums. Wax. Muffs. And noise.
Ears.
Ears is correct. I know. I saw that one pop up, and I really loved it. Amanda had also submitted another word, unicorn, which I did not use but wanted to. I had to make some cuts, and I only used one word from each person, so did not go with unicorn. I went with ears instead.
Excellent. Well done on that one.
All right, we have 2 left,
hang on.
Eric.
Hang on. Okay.
Okay.
My whole face this time.
I wish you could see it from my point of view. Okay, I'm going to take the word away in 3, 2, 1. Boom.
It's hot under there.
You're gonna... I can't. Whew. Okay.
Need a shower
so,
after this.
Oh man, that was good. All right, we definitely have 7 responses. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we've got 2 matches. So you're gonna get 5 words, Eric.
Okay.
Your words are audible, commentary, story, teller, and Eric. Audible, commentary, story, teller, and story and teller are 2 different words, not storyteller. Story and teller, and Eric.
Narrator.
You are correct. That is right.
Woo!
Good. Look at you, Eric. You're on your game
all right.
tonight.
If I could only be more effervescent, I'd be all set.
All right, chat. This is the last word in our last game of our 100th episode. Prepare yourselves.
I'm prepared.
And I'm going to take it away in 3, 2, 1. Bam. I think this one is going to be difficult.
Oh, okay.
Truthfully.
All right, it's a good finale.
Yeah, I think, we couldn't do a layup on the very last one, right?
Yeah. Okay. I have to go back and check the chat. I haven't been able to look at it for a while.
The chat, Luke L typed in LOL in all caps and then said, "Oops, that wasn't a clue."
You got to be careful.
Don't worry, Luke. I figured that out. But I appreciate the confirmation because I was like, that would be funny, but okay. So let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 3 of the words match, and they're all the same word. So
okay.
You're gonna get 4 words, Eric.
All right.
Your words are assassin, worst, hatred, and loud. Assassin, worst, hatred, and loud.
Shenanigans!
Well done, Eric. You nailed it, and thank you to the 2 people who submitted that, Gordon on the Board Game Geek Guild and Uriah on Facebook. Once I saw that one get submitted, I knew exactly what the last word of the episode was going to be. So yes, Eric, you absolutely smashed that game of Just One. So clearly I should have chat submit words for us more often.
That was excellent. That was really, really good. And I see that yell. I'm seeing the chat go by. Yell is the word that got eliminated.
Yep.
Excellent.
When I saw the moment of realization hit, and I was like, yes, because I was worried. I was like, if he doesn't get it, we're not gonna. I couldn't resist. I had to try,
Chat's like, here it comes. Here we go. Cover your ears.
Oh,
yeah, you got to back off on the mic on that one. You can't just yell into the mic.
Yeah. So chat, that does wrap up our Game-a-Palooza episode 100 special. Because we have obviously gone longer than we typically do, we're not going to do a Q&A segment tonight.
So save those questions next time.
Yes, save those questions for next episode, which will be, we're back on our regular schedule now, so it'll be 2 weeks from tonight, which is August 4th. Holy cow, how is it August already almost?
Really? That's our next episode is in August? Yeah, you're right. Oh my goodness.
I know. So August 4th at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern will be our next episode. Chat, before you leave tonight, if you enjoy the show, and if you enjoyed tonight's episode especially, if you want to click that little thumbs up button below the video to let the YouTube algorithms know that you want to see this pop up in your feed some more in the future, we would really appreciate it. I cannot thank you enough, chat, for helping us prepare all of these games, providing the content that made this episode so very special. And I hope you all enjoyed our Game-a-Palooza.
I had a blast. I don't know about you.
I did as well. I really, really loved this. And it seems like, from what I've seen, chat liked it too. This is definitely not something we will be doing all the time because it is a lot of prep work.
It is. One game at a time, I think, is good.
Yeah, one game, and then it's nice because you and I switch back and forth, so we each have to only prep one game a month, which is kind of nice.
Yes,
so,
we have to figure out who. I think it's my turn next for the next episode.
Yes,
yeah,
I believe that is accurate.
Yeah.
So yes, we will see you all again in 2 weeks. Thank you for joining us for episode 100. Until episode 101, I'm Crystal Dax.
I'm Eric Summerer.
And you've been watching Dice Tower Tonight.
Thank you for watching. Promotional consideration has been provided by game publishers in the form of review copies of games. Crystal and I will see you in 2 weeks as we begin our 2nd century. Our show is supported by viewers like you. Thanks. Dice Tower Tonight is produced by Crystal and me with assistance from Tom Vassell, Mike DeLisio, Roy Kennedy, Chris Yee, and Rob Searing. A very one-sided game between the Yankees and the Orioles brought to you by New York 1901. Timothy Pinkham composed our theme, and hosting is provided by GameNerds.com. Give us your feedback on the Dice Tower Guild at Board Game Geek on Facebook or Twitter, or by emailing us at crystal@dicetower.com or eric@dicetower.com. You can hear more from Crystal on the Board Game Blitz podcast, and I can be found giving Tom a hard time on the Dice Tower. Find those shows and more at dicetowernetwork.com. Until next time, from all of us at the Dice Tower, have fun.
Have fun gaming.
And have fun trading. Trade with me. Trade. Come on. Come on. Trade.
You're only allowed just one reference to that guy in an episode.
Good night, everybody.
Bye, everybody.